I don't feel like putting makeup on, and the lights are on. But this is a good segue into thin privilege. I was going to do able body privilege first, but we'll do that next. Thin privilege. Some people are just not going to be thin. It doesn't matter how well they eat or how much they exercise. They're just not going to be thin. Some people are just not going to be fat. It doesn't matter how much crap they eat or how much they never move. My friend Emily is like 6 feet tall and 150. She never exercises. She always finishes my meals. It never bothers me, except once when she was like, thanks. And I was like, you're welcome. I can't finish a meal. You know that. And she's like, well, thanks for not being mad at me for finishing your meal and still being skinny. And I was like, okay, now I'm mad at you, jerk face. And then she was like, oh yeah, that was kind of tactless. I was like, a little bit. We're still friends. Love you, Ems. Not like you're watching this, but you should. I'm hilarious. Or at least I used to be. Thin privilege. When you don't have to find specific stores that carry your size. When size 12 is not considered fat, 16 isn't obese. 80% of American women are size 12 or higher. And yet the fashion industry doesn't conform to them. It makes for the smaller women and the hourglass-shaped women. Now, the stores that do make clothing for larger women still tend to make it for the hourglass-shaped women. I'm hourglass, a little bit more on the bottom, but I'm still fairly hourglassed. But a lot of women aren't. We come in all different shapes and sizes. But thin privilege is not having to look for specific theaters that can accommodate your big ass. Thin privilege is not walking into a doctor for a broken wrist and having them assume that you have diabetes. Thin privilege is not having every medical problem be assumed it's your weight. Thin privilege is not having the words fat be synonymous with ugly, worthless, lazy, useless. I am fat. I am not ugly. I am not lazy. I am not worthless. I am not useless. I have to work twice as hard as a thin woman to prove my worth. Why is that? 10 means skinny, even if she's a butterface. But as soon as they get married, they get fat and crazy anyway. I'm already fat and crazy. You know what you're getting yourself into. But you'd rather be surprised, I suppose. It's okay for men to be fat, as long as they're rich. But it's never okay for women to be fat. Not ever. Thin privilege is knowing that you can... The compliments are being directed just towards you. When I'm out with my friends, who some are thinner than I, some are larger than I have friends of all sizes, but when I'm out with my thin friends and men compliment them, I pretend they're complimenting me too. I just pretend it. Not the harassment street calls, that's annoying, but the actual compliments. I pretend that they're mine as well. But they're not. But thin privilege is being viewed as competent just because you're thin. I could go for a while on thin privilege, but really, we fat people have a lot to offer society.